How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Oh my gosh, I have puppy fur all over me. This one's little, he's staring at me. He's right there. He's like,
Oh,
Mom, what are you doing?
so cute.
How's your day been? I think it's what is it? It's 7 over there, isn't it?
Rock, yeah. It's been good. I got acupuncture today for the first time, so that was nice.
Nice. I have never had acupuncture, but did you feel energy shifting and moving in you?
Yeah, it felt really nice. It was not like I'm not a fan of needles. So I wasn't really looking forward to it, but I have like chronic neck pain from a nerve issue. And so I was like, you know what, I'm willing to do it. And so she just put them in. They were not bad at all. And she's like, just lay and relax. And I was like, I could do that.
There we go. And you feel
Yeah.
better?
Yeah, so far so good. It's feeling more relaxed. I'll go back again next week, and then hopefully that'll be like a nice boost.
Good. I love that. Yeah, getting all your self-care in. I feel like there's some massive shifts happening right now and we just need to like
I
be able to
know.
give to ourselves as much as we can.
100%. Okay. So, whoops. As we told everybody else, we're going to be going through the 12 signs. You being a clairvoyant, you're going to give your input, your downloads. I will be pulling tarot to go along with it. So, how would you like to go about this?
Do we start at the beginning and just go from Aries all the way till Capricorn or Aquarius, I believe?
Yeah, I can do that for sure.
All right. I can channel and see what's coming up for Aries, and then I can't wait to see what the cards say because I feel like it's going to be so fun. Okay.
Yeah, while you're doing it, I'm going to go ahead and pull cards as you're talking. That way we can see, and then I'll go after you.
Okay. All right. Let me see what's coming up for the rest of July for Aries. Let's see. Okay, so the first thing I see for the collective, if you have major Aries placements, it's really interesting because I feel like there's this kind of like pushing forward and like there is a like you've got a lot of energy in general. So it feels like a lot of creative energy, a lot of pushing for like kind of saying what it is that you want, maybe even career changes. I actually feel like too, like I keep feeling this like this connections for Aries, whether it is career or love, because it feels like there's like beneficial personal connections that keep coming up. But I feel like you've got this like pep in your step. And even if people, I mean, yes, major transformation going around the collective, but even if other people are feeling this like major shift, it's interesting because I feel like you can navigate this a little bit better than the other signs for some reason, even though you're going through your own major transformation. But it feels more like a glow up rather than like something where it's like, oh, dark night of the soul sort of thing. Let me see. What else here? You know, it's so interesting because I keep seeing like, and I'm so interested if you get some of it, any of these like pentacles or something in your cards, because I keep seeing like money and I keep seeing like business deals in general for you guys. It could be the start of something. It looks it looks like relationship, and it looks like a professional, like the start of some sort of great beginning of some sort of relationship there.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's great because I did, in fact, pull Pinnacles and this.
There we go.
You said you're talking, and I'm like, yes, yes. And I did a simple past, present, future spread. And so for Aries, in the past, we have the Page of Cups in reverse. There's been a sort of like a disconnect feeling, you know, like a little bit of a frustration, like what it's kind of like feeling like in this void of like, what is going on? You know, why am I not? I like feel like I'm just in this place of waiting and I'm not really getting anything. And then the energy now is we have the Eight of Pentacles.
There we go. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, so the Eight of Pentacles all about work and doing the damn thing, doing what you got to do to get to where you want to be financially for your business, your career, or whatever it is. And it's just like, you know, kind of like refining, funneling down whatever it is that you're wanting to bring in. But just like you said, you feel like there's some shifts, some changes. And I have, as the future, we have the Hierophant in reverse. So this would be, you're doing things unorthodox. You're doing things like totally different, maybe moving away from what you thought things were going to be. And now you're like, holy crap, this is way different than what I'm used to. And the bottom of the deck, we have Judgment. So you're just like, let me just go along for the ride. Let me find out where this is leading me, and I'm game.
Ooh, it's great if you have an Aries placement, I feel like. How fun. That was so cool to do.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm Aries rising, so I'll sit here just like listening.
Does that feel like it's like,
Oh, yeah.
all of that?
100%. Yeah, especially, with the fact that, I had a lot of things that I've been working on. My book, Mystic Muses for the Modern Goddess. I have my 6-Figure to Success masterclass coming up in August. I have speaking engagements, all that stuff happening. And so I do really feel like as an Aries, like everything is like shifting. It's going into another level. And so I think you're spot on with that. And even the cards are saying, yeah, Aries they're charging into something completely different and just separating from what they once felt maybe was boxed in. And maybe that life of, I have to do it this way. This is what I was taught. I have to go do the 9 to 5, or I have to do things the traditional way. And it's just telling you, let that shit go, because you have a higher calling coming.
Absolutely. Woo! Okay, I already love this. We should do this again. All right, so should we do Taurus?
Go for it.
Let's see. Okay, Taurus. What's coming in for you? It feels like more massive, like spiritual upgrades. I keep feeling like this is actually kind of like digging your heels in the ground, and very much in a little bit of solitude in nature, but for the best way, because it feels like this is cocooning for rebirth. And I keep seeing you in a spiritual, like getting spiritual downloads, like having more spiritual energy come towards you. And like I feel like there's inspiration that's in there. So like there may be inspired actions that come from it. But right now it feels more like this is just like in the beginning stages of things. Things are still percolating for you and still changing. And I kind of feel like, again, like I really want to put my feet in the ground and kind of stay there and like ground things out, because even the energies, like we kind of were talking about, like they're really moving like this kind of, and you want to be able to kind of ground in and just allow yourself to receive. I actually feel like there's a level of receiving too. Like it's almost like I feel like a little bit of relief is happening in particularly like maybe the job or the business department. Like it's almost like the work finances has a little bit of relief. However, it doesn't look like it's fully relieved. But I do feel like, again, inspiration, ideas, things where you can like get things moving a little bit. But right now it's really like channeling, downloads, like being in nature, like giving comforts to yourself. And I also feel like there's like an element of like, I need to like clean up and redo, but it's not like in a pushing, it's a very slow and observing kind of energy. And I also feel like there's this redefining of the self that's coming up. So it's like this redefinition of who you want to be, how you want to show up. And it's like this gradual process of coming to it. I feel like this is like part of what's happened. It's a year-long period of your transformation, but this is like, this month is like the tiniest bit of relief for you. And then it kind of just feels like there's more growth, more evolution, more going inward, more solo time. Like it's like it's like self-focused right now. That's what I feel. So
I like that, because what I have for Taurus is we have in the past energy, we have the Knight of Cups. So this is, about moving forward towards your passion, wanting to fulfill your needs and doing it through the heart space. This is Scorpio energy. So it's like, I feel this deeply within my soul. And just like you said, like emotional and spiritual type of energy. And then we have the present energy is the moon in reverse. So like all of this is just like coming in, and they're probably like, holy crap. Just like you said, you feel like it's like this, and they're wanting to get their feet back on the ground.
yeah.
So 100%, and it's like, make sure, Taurus, that you take care of you. Make sure that you're nurturing yourself, because this wave of energy, this wave of spirituality can be completely overwhelming. And, being an earth sign, you've got to still balance that practicality. Otherwise you feel out of place, And then in the future, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, just like you said, cleaning up. So this is like getting rid of things that you don't need. This is going to be physically, emotionally, all of the things. It's like letting go and opening up, going, okay, this is what I need to do. Like they might feel like they need to rearrange things in their house, declutter, let go of baggage that they've been hanging on to. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Pentacles. This is a new, fresh type of energy. So,
I love that. And that's Earth too, isn't that? That's an Earth sign? Amazing.
Yeah. So it's like, you know what? I'm learning how to connect. I'm learning how to balance. I'm learning how to take care of my body, myself, and my finances, and everything in the physical world. And it's like, kind of like you said too, you see they're balancing on the one foot, right? They're like going like this, but they're still grounded. They're like, okay, I'm learning. And all of this spirituality, all this emotion, all this energy, I'm learning.
I love it. And Pentacles is like, it's a slower moving energy, right? If I'm not correct. And it's like that gives me very much, this like Taurus kind of, I'm slowly moving into this transition of who I am and seeing and unboxing this new version of myself. I love that. How cool. Cards don't lie. I love it.
And it's very beneficial for Taurians to declutter the home, especially because, we have the Moon card, and that is Cancer type of energy, it's Pisces energy too. But it's like, it's more so like when you got to declutter your space so you can feel. You got to be able to feel.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
That's huge. Okay, cool. I have a Taurus moon, so that's good for me to know. That helps. Okay, let me see. Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Let's see, Geminis. It's so interesting because I feel like you're kind of like you're on fire. Like you keep moving. Like there's like, I'm just like moving and there's like a lot going on, and like I'm being social here. And it's interesting because I feel like your relationships are really like evolving to the next level. And it feels like there's also like, I would say like you guys naturally have the luck this year for some reason, or even specifically this month, like you have the luck this month. And there's something about like you kind of like being in your groove, and like it's just fun, playful, abundant energy, and like playfully abundant or inner child kind of energy, like amused kind of energy. And I feel like you like, it's interesting because I think everybody else feels like when I'm looking at collectively, like the image is like everyone else is like having a hard time, but you're kind of like, all right, I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm being over here, and I'm being over there. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you're going to pull the Magician card, but that feels like it's going to be... Stop!
Oh my God.
Exactly what I saw. So that's so funny. Oh my God. Like, let's do this again. That's so funny. Wow, we should do this again. This is really fun. But I think you guys have that magician energy. It's time for creating and creating that magic. So really, really, really take advantage of it. I also feel like you're not going to want to stay home. It's like there's none of this like cocooning energy, none of that. It's like time to really shine. And your communication is going to be strong too. So
yeah,
I
love that. That is so amazing. So let me just tell everybody, if you're just joining us, my name is Erica. If you follow me on TikTok, you already know that. I am a professional tarot reader. I do all the things. This is lovely Ishita. She is a clairvoyant healer. And as you see, we're reading for all the zodiac signs to find out what is coming up for the rest of July for everybody. No matter if you're sun, moon, or rising, you can apply it to those different areas of your life. And you see, the cards are jiving with Miss Ishita. And we met, you guys, through the Inner Temple Symposium. We were both speakers on the Inner Temple Symposium, and that was a lot of fun. And I just loved her presentation. And so she was like, hey, you want to do it live together? And I was like, yeah. That'll be fun.
I love the fact that you talked about the power of tarot, because clearly, you know, you don't have to, whatever modality you use, however you choose to empower yourself. And that's what I loved about your presentation. There was power. And this is really a year to start getting our power back. But it was so interesting where, you know, you can use any sort of modality, whether it's tuning in like I am, using your cards, or maybe, I don't know, if you use a divination tool like a pendulum or runes, or if you use like tea leaves or whatever you use. But there's always, I think at the end of the day, it is a way for you to connect to your own divinity and your power. So thank you for reminding us about that in the Inner Temple Symposium. It was so fun to hear your talk.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it because it does, you know, tarot require any type of divination practice, like you're saying, requires you to take personal responsibility. And that's what I love about it. And that's what literally shifted my entire life. And I've seen it shift many people's lives. So I'm extremely passionate about it, if you can't tell. But let me show you these cards, because Gemini, you were talking about, Gemini's got a lot going on. They have 3 major arcana already in their cards. So in the past energy, we have the Hanged Man. So for them, it felt like everything was just stagnant. Nothing was going on. And they were having to, you know, Gemini's always move, 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 move. Yep. And for them to have to sit still and observe is like torture. But it's necessary for them to be able to do that so they can see things from that different perspective, which they are good at if they will just like slow down and look, you know? So they most likely felt like everything was just kind of like going at a snail's pace, maybe getting frustrated. But here we have that Magician card that you called out. The Magician is all about like movement and focused energy. It's like, this is what I want. This is what I'm manifesting. And my ears are buzzing now. And it's just like, I'm really focused on me. I'm really focused on making these changes. And then in the near future, we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Like, if you're watching, don't freak out. The 10 of Pentacles in reverse can indicate that you are maybe changing jobs. You are really focusing on gathering up what you want your legacy to be, because it hasn't been quite anything. And so maybe you're having to start from scratch with something. Maybe you're learning how to invest, starting a new job, starting a new business, whatever this is. Or some of y'all might decide to go through a divorce because you've reached the point where you're like, you know what? I've looked at everything and I realize this is what's necessary, because underneath the deck, we have the moon. You know, this is just, there are things hiding underneath the surface that need to be brought up, and, you know, the light shine on it so you can process it, so you can feel it and just go within the depths of everything and realize that this is part of your journey. This is part of your, you know, like you finding yourself and really learning how to process the emotions, process everything that's happening. And then you're ready for this big shift, this big change.
Oh, I love that. I feel like Gemini is really, honestly, I feel like if you were any sign this year, it feels like Gemini is the one to be this year. I don't know why.
My son will be happy to hear that.
Do you have any Gemini placements?
I don't.
Yep, I don't have any major Gemini placements either, but I really do feel like I'm watching these other Geminis really thrive. So you know, I'm really happy. Congratulations, Geminis.
Right. And y'all feel free to ask questions or, you know, conversate in the chat. We don't mind at all. We're just here doing the readings for y'all. We're going in order from, you know, 1 to 12. But yeah, feel free to chime in. We welcome conversation and questions.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. There's lots of hellos in the comments. Okay, I'm going to start.
Triple Gemini. Oh my gosh.
Triple Gemini. Well, lucky for her. Yeah. Okay, so who? Cancer. All right, let's see here. Okay, Cancer. So it looks like there's, it feels like there's a beautification or a reset of your home space, different than the Taurian kind of energy. There's something about like the aesthetic or beautifying, not just your home, but, you know, your home is a reflection of yourself. That's what really feels like is coming through. Plus, you know, Cancer, they have their home within them. They recoil as an animal. So there's something about you kind of this home life really shifting. It feels like even elements to like the family dynamic shifting for some reason. It feels like healing and working through stuff. Maybe it wouldn't, I don't necessarily feel like, it feels like almost like last month was a little tricky for you. And this is like the time that things are repairing almost. It's like a repairing month. Like bringing healing, bringing cooling. It's like things were hot, 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 and now things are kind of like cooling down a little bit. And there's a little bit of warmth in there. And then I definitely feel like too, there's like a self-worth and a confidence that you're coming into, like reclaiming this, even if you're kind of shy about it or not sure. Like it's like a gentle, slow, allowing yourself to step into this deeper sense of self-love. Let's see here. It really feels like what's important for cancers, just in general this year, is this repairing of the family dynamic that's going to be a mirror for the relationships you have in your personal life. So romantic one, your own family, your own working relationships too, for some reason. But I also feel like, yeah, you've got slow energy, but it's not necessarily like extremely slow like this Taurus energy, but more it's like I'm ready to kind of step into the job, the duty, who I am, my self-worth, my self-confidence, not taking up space like a Leo does, but more like I'm here, I'm arrived with my watery goddess-like energy, and kind of allowing that to surround you. I do feel like, again, like there's this family support, or there's this big family dynamic in general. Let's see if there's anything else. I just also feel like you guys are going through some sort of shifting, not necessarily as deep as like a spiritual awakening. There may be moments of it, but it's more moments of realization in terms of how to bring back, confident you. So I'm curious to see what the cards say.
I like that. Well, like you said in the beginning, they were kind of like a little confused. They were a little like, I'm not so sure, like what's going on, what I'm supposed to be doing. And we have now the energy of the Seven of Cups in reverse. This is kind of like having that aha moment, like, oh, I need to go this way. I need to do this, or this is what I need to focus on. And right now, which it's interesting, the last two cards, because I have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and then I have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So the Eight of Pentacles in reverse can signify like kind of taking a step back, not working so hard, like feeling like you have to always do, like taking that step back and be like, okay, let me relax a little bit, because maybe I've been a little too hard on myself. I've been feeling like I have to do all this work on myself. And it's like, relax, you are perfect. You are good enough. You are all these things. And it could be that maybe they're deciding to, whatever they have committed to, they're like, you know what, I need to take some things off my plate. I need to not be so say yes to everything, because it becomes overwhelming. And so by doing that, they step out of their own self-imprisonment. They are, like you said, their confidence, they're stepping in, because the bottom of the deck is we have the Nine of Wands. This is the wounded warrior. This is somebody who has just been there, always the one, like you even said, the family dynamic, maybe the matriarch and the patriarch of the family is like, I'm the one that's doing all the things. I'm the one that's always there for everybody. And maybe they're kind of taking a step back and like, you know what, I'm going to start delegating, let somebody else do this. And I'm going to step out and be like, I'm doing this to myself. I'm putting too much work on myself. And so now I'm going to let other people help and do what is necessary, whether it be at home, whether it be at work, anywhere. It's like, I'm going to go easier on myself. And this is what's going to set me free, because we have two eights here. Eight is very karmic, flowy type of energy, and it does connect to the finances, yes. But when you're out of that karmic flow, boy, you have major issues with finances.
Yeah.
So it would be really good to balance their finances as well, to go through their monthly expenditures to see where they are spending unnecessarily. And then that will give them some sort of freedom when it comes to whatever it is they're wanting to afford down the road. You know, it's all about being aware.
That's huge. I feel like that's really good advice because I think, well, we have that full moon in Capricorn on Sunday. And so Cancer's its sister sign. It's polar opposite. And so Cancer is about those finances and really organizing them, and or Capricorn is. And I feel like that makes a lot of sense because what I'm also seeing recently in readings with people is that some of them are going through financial crises. Some people are having to redefine what it is in terms of like their budgets and how they want to spend their money in general. So I think kind of what you're bringing up is really like almost super like a collective message that we also need to really, really hear about what's shifting with this full moon. And also, I mean, not just Cancers, but for everyone in terms of how we want to be in our abundance. So I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, because this full moon's at the 29th degree, I believe. And that's like, it's like, this is your last chance to set in stone what it is that you want when it comes to your career, when it comes to your finances and all the things that you want to accomplish. And yeah, it's exciting for me because I'm a Capricorn midheaven. So it's right there.
Wow.
Career, which is perfect because I'm doing that 6-figure masterclass in August. I'm like, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, exactly what I'm supposed to be sharing. And so I just want to remind everybody, if you're new, we're going through all 12 zodiac signs. Ishita is a clairvoyant and she's downloading information and giving us the reading. And then I'm pulling cards, and so far they're matching up. But if you do want to schedule a reading with Ishita, go to the link in her profile. You can schedule with her. If you want to schedule with me, do the same. I have tarot class and I have the Universal Blueprint to 6-Figure Success Masterclass coming up. So go check those out. Do you have anything that you would like to say?
Yes. Also, that masterclass sounds amazing. Just want to say that. And also, if you live in the Southern California area, or you can get to the Southern California area this weekend, I'm doing a really beautiful event at Rocky Lounge in Malibu. Beautiful wellness area where you can see the beach from this rooftop. And the event is called Your Destined Soulmate. And I'm helping you. I've done this event two times. This is the third time I'm doing it because, I kid you not, people meet their soulmates after this. It's been so interesting. Like, I had a friend who came to the event the last time, and we went on a hike the next day, and literally, lo and behold, delivered at the creek as we're walking on our hike, there was this man that and they just hit it off. And then before that, so many people just kind of contacted me after. If you want to find your soulmate, we are going to be doing so much work to be able to heal any blockages. I'll be doing readings for people there, and you'll be able to get some insight. So if you want to come, please, please, please click the link in my bio, grab your ticket. There's not many tickets left, and it's going to be a really transformative event. I feel like this is like the time that people are finding their soulmates. Yeah. So get in the energy of it now so you can attract it and be at that aligned vibration for it. And then also, yes, readings I only have a few more spots because I'm leaving for Bali. My Bali retreat is happening in August, but I'm getting there a little early, so I'm not so jet lagged. My manifestation retreat. And then I'll be back in mid-August, so you won't be able to snag too many spots too early on if you want a reading. So I would suggest doing that now. And then what else? I think those are the things to focus on this month. And there's plenty of other things. I have some things that I want to share with you guys, but I'm trying to hold my excitement in and let them brew and become something. So
I do the same thing. I get way too excited and I wind up telling everybody, and I'm like, but you're gonna have to wait because I gotta let it marinate.
There we go. So yes, it's just check out the website. If you're on Instagram, I'm also very active there. So find me there and then we can chat. But shall we? Oh yes, Leo, right? Is it Leo time?
Leo now, yes.
Okay, let me tune in for Leos. Okay, Leos. You know, it's interesting because I feel like there's like um you're not really forcing yourself to shine, you're just shining and people are just noticing you. It's like, I don't know, like I feel like you get invited to things. I feel like there's like talk around you, like fun, enthusiastic energy around you. You could also be opening your heart to someone. I feel like there's this expansive heart energy, not only to someone, but really to yourself too. There's a self-healing thing there. And it's like really where I'm just like feeling like you're not trying to like outshine anybody. There's no competition. It's just you purely existing. Um, and I really feel like there's major career moves here. So if you're feeling like, oh, this opportunity came out of the blue, it's okay to snag it for some reason. I feel like just grabbing things, like I keep seeing you like grabbing things, but it's almost like things are just being put right in front of you and you're taking them. Let me see here too. It also feels like, well, not only just being social, but like this feeling like you're really starting to see the community that you want and like the people who are not aligned to you, you're kind of okay letting them go. It's like, okay, all right, I'm letting that go away. I'm letting myself open up and like having this faith and trust and surrender more than you ever had before on some level. It's like there's no fear because I believe Leos are fixed signs. So there's this, you're not trying to control it anymore. It's just like, okay, I'm just flowing with it. I'm just surrendering. And then let's see here. But yeah, naturally, it's like you're just going to be in the spotlight. And I really do feel like if you really want to attract someone, like there will be love coming your way. So be open to meeting people and placing yourself in situations where there's a lot of people. So
Nice. I love it because you're like, you just got to surrender. And I was like, yep, surrendering. So the first card though I got is the Knight of Swords in reverse in the past energy. So this can feel like there was a lot of fear there. There was a lot of like maybe being a little quick to judge something in their life. You know, it's like, oh, you know, that's not going to work out, or that's not for me, or this and that. And then like just fear-based junk, you know, and it keeps them stagnant. And now they're ready to surrender. They're ready to let go. They're hearing, like maybe receiving these calls, like you said, they're just like grabbing things like, yes, this is coming because, you know, in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, Archangel Gabriel is at the top and he's calling them. He's like, hey, yeah, like wake up. And so it's like, yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm ready. Like I'll go with the flow, whatever I need to do. And it's interesting because Leo has 3 major arcana, just like Gemini did. And in the near future, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. This is letting things go and starting to move forward. It's like, now I see it. Now I get why this was happening, why I had to just like let go and just surrender and decide this is what I want. And the energy underneath is we have the High Priestess in reverse. Okay. So when we're talking about love, you're talking about, you know, you feel like people are going to, you know, find love. They probably were at a point where they didn't really date much at all. They were feel like they were born again virgin.
I was going to say, the like, high priest's boyfriend is God, you know, like you don't date anyone. Exactly.
Yeah. So now she's ready to get out there. Now she's like, okay, I'm ready to get back out there and date. But also, you know, the High Priestess, she's like, she can feel that, what do I want to say? It's not the divine feminine rage. It's the divine feminine, just like energy. I don't know how to describe it. Kind of like the Leo roar. Like I just gotta, something's coming and I feel it. But she may have felt like she was kind of cut off and she was trying to receive, but I don't think it was working back in the past. But now, you know, with the surrender, she's finally going to be like, oh, okay. Because this is what's hiding underneath. This is what, you know, it's like, oh, I'm just like all over the place. I can't predict anything. I don't know what's going on. And so it can make them make these knee-jerk reactions, right? But as long as they surrender, this is a big event, it's a major arcana. As long as they surrender, we have the Hangman in reverse, you finally get off of that stagnant tree and you're like, oh, I get it now. I was worried over nothing.
I love that. That also feels reassuring. Because, well, I have a Leo sun, and also, you're a Leo sun?
Yeah, I'm all fire. All three.
Oh my God. When is your birthday?
August 10th.
I'm August 16th.
Nice. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I love that. Fire, fire, fire. So what's your moon?
Sagittarius.
Okay. Ooh, okay. We haven't gotten to your moon yet, so we'll have to see. Okay. I'm excited. Yay. Wow. Have fun. I love, queens are born in August. That's what someone told me.
That is right.
Okay, let's see. Oh, my light went out, but hopefully you can still see me. Okay, so Leo, then we have Virgo. Let's see, Virgos. Kind of like Gemini, I feel like you guys also have a very lucky energy this month, but also the majority of this year, because it feels like you guys are having like the typical Leo energy. It's like delegation, like I feel like you're like, okay, this here, this there, like I'm the leader kind of thing. And it may feel like this month kind of feels like you're still kind of shifting things around and still like reorganizing how you want to show up in life for you to be this leader, but that feels like it's the goal. Like I keep seeing that being the goal, and you see that vision, but it's like, I'm not quite there yet, but I know I can put this here and I can put this piece here, and like we're getting there. It's kind of frustrating me, but we're getting there. And let me see here. There's like a lot of, it's interesting because I also feel like there's like a lot of healing that you're doing, either like deep subconscious, but I also see like it's like very much in your dream space too, where there's like a lot of healing that you're processing. It may not be that you're conscious of it, but I feel like it's because you're really doing some deep work on a subconscious level. See here. And I also feel like there's an interesting element to you stepping into divine feminine energy. Those who are in touch with that divine feminine energy, there's more of this like graciousness and openness to it. I also feel like there's like an elegance. It's so interesting because Virgo, you're giving me this like Leo, like spotlight kind of energy, interestingly enough. And I do feel like it's like a glow up, a glam kind of energy as well that you're stepping towards. Also, I feel like you might be killing at work because you're really like finding like all these little things that need to be fixed. It doesn't feel like, okay, this is it for you, but everybody else is like, oh my gosh, she's on fire, she's on fire, she's on fire, he's on fire. It's like, there's like appreciation, but you're kind of like, okay, I'm gonna get there. So that's kind of like, it's kind of like a transition-y month for you, if that makes sense. So
yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me, especially with the cards, because in the recent past we have the death card. So you start talking about glow up and all that stuff, like deep-seated things happening. Like there was something transformative that has happened for Virgos in the recent past. And the only thing is, they have this ability to be this Nine of Pentacles, the glow up, but it showed up in reverse. So they need to know that this energy can be turned direct. If you want to have the glow up, you have to let go of this ending. You have to let the process take its course, because this is, I think you said, what'd you say? Like elegant and that kind of energy. Well, this is the Lady of Leisure. This is the Nine of Pentacles. That's what we call it. It's the Lady of Leisure, because this is what every woman should be before she gets married. She's independent. She is financially stable. She's healthy. She's committed. She is, what's the other word? She's discerning. I mean, she's all the good, powerful things that you want to be. But when she's in reverse, she's expecting everybody else to fulfill that within her. You know, she's not doing that for herself. So this is typically like when women come out of a relationship and then she has the glow up, right? Because she stops paying attention to herself and then she starts reminding herself who she is. And so, yeah, she can have this glow up because it's kind of like a warning, these cards to Virgos, like if you don't let go of what has left, what has ended, the doors that have closed, if you leave them be, or if you don't leave them be, you're going to stay in this energy and then you're not going to get what you want. This is a star in reverse. So we have two major arcana surrounding this decision right here. Like, are you going to do the thing? Are you going to be committed and disciplined to your life and your goals and yourself? Because if you do, then you will get everything that you wish for. And the bottom of the deck is the Three of Wands. This is, look at the people around you. This is about divine timing. This is asking you, where do you want to go from here? But also look at who you're partnering up with. What are the energies around you? Because the people that are around you are the vibration that you're going to carry. So your tribe is your vibe type of thing.
Yeah.
So, and it's telling you, you see the star here as well, right?
Yeah.
Wishing upon a star, waiting on the ships to come in, waiting to see your results, but you're going to keep waiting as long as you stay in this energy here. So.
And shine, Virgos.
And Jamie just said Venus enters Virgo at the end of the month. Nice. Nice.
It's true. Yeah. That just means, like, I really do feel like that you hit on that, like taking your space, taking the leadership, taking the like being that person in that role. That really makes a lot of sense. Okay, cool. We're going to Libra, is that right? I think.
Yes. I know, I'm trying to keep up mentally as well.
Yeah, there's like all these things going on. You channeling and reading and listening and okay, let me see. Libra, I really feel like there's like deep emotions that you guys are going through right now. And it's like processing the old past. Maybe there's a little bit of nostalgia, but it's really like part of this major transformation, but it's deep, like, release of like grief or sadness. And I feel like this is like the dark tunnel towards your light. You just are really, it's like your healing era. Let me see. It just feels like also, yes, kind of like a self-focus on you too right now. It's easier to kind of block people out and have a little bit of like a tunnel vision right now. I do think you can lean a little bit on like your close people, but it almost feels like everything else would be too much, like a little bit overstimulating, because there is so much happening on an energetic level for you. And obviously you're all about balance. So you want to keep that harmony, keep that balance within yourself and within like your social groups and all of that. But I just feel like that's kind of a juggle right now for you, trying to figure that out. But it's interesting because you, on some level, it's like, like this is all for your higher good, and you may not see it, like you may not see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's interesting. I keep just getting like tunnel vision or tunnel imagery for you guys, like light or dark to light kind of thing. And you guys are probably going to have to, it's going to be a little bit of like, you have to be really honest with yourself here. And in some ways you might want to still keep those rose-colored glasses on. And in some ways, you're ready for going deep and being honest. I I also feel like kind of similar to, can't remember which time I said, but it feels like, okay, well, you know, if this has to go, then this has to go, and I'll let it go. Like if it's in terms of relationships, and because again, it's like this focus on like having less to overwhelm you, but enough so that you can focus on the goal that you want, the outcome that you want. But I also feel like there's this cherishing, and you may even want to explore some sort of inner child healing, because I do keep seeing the past coming up. So that's something to consider there. That's what I keep seeing for you, Libra.
I like that. In the recent past, we have the Ten of Swords. So this would be something has ended, and it's, you know, it's like, okay, on the journey to a new beginning, you know, like going, and I don't know if you can see it very well. It's kind of hard to see, but there's like sunlight back here. So it's like they're going to find their happiness. They're like looking for something fresh, like a fresh new start. And I think it's funny how you're like, I keep seeing a tunnel. I keep seeing this like light to dark and focus. And I have the Six of Wands here. You see the lights? Like they're not wanting to be in the spotlight right now.
Yes. Wow.
And like you said, it might be too overwhelming with having everybody around them. So just focus on their close circle. That would be the same thing, because this is like getting support from everybody, being seen, being out in the spotlight, all your friends and family and everybody, right? But this is like, no, you know, and they might not feel as supported as they want to. So it would be really important for them to lean on those closest to them that they know they're going to get the support from. And this is a time definitely to nurture themselves, because the Six of Wands, 6 is about nurturing. It's about loving and taking care of yourself and finding that harmony. And in the future, yeah, planting those seeds to whatever it is that they want, getting to choose. This is the road I'm going down. This is what I'm investing in. This is, you know, I'm investing in my growth. I'm investing in my health, and the health is going to be all around, you know, emotional, mental, physical, financial, all the things. And so yeah, I love the Seven of Pentacles. It's like, okay, I've decided I'm ready for this fresh new start. I'm kind of not in the spotlight right now. Maybe take a break from maybe social media or something like that, because I'm working on me. I'm planting these seeds, because here we have the King of Cups. This is that deep inner self, that Scorpio energy. And he is going to be able to take action on the things that he feels passionate about, because he's masculine energy. So he's the one that's like, this is what I know I need to do. I'm feeling it, and then I'm going for it. So, and you were talking about nostalgia. There's the past.
Oh, wow.
It was there, just hiding.
Oh, I love that. Jeremy says, this resonates fully. Thank you both.
Yeah.
There we go. Great. Oh, you're welcome.
Love
Cool.
it.
South Node energy. So it sounds like, yeah, daughter and mom are Libra. It's interesting energy for Libra this year, I feel like.
Yeah.
Big, like asking for transformation. I'm a Libra. That was wild. There you go. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Scorpio. Let's see. Let's see, Scorpios. Okay. You know, I kind of feel like you're in a really nice energy. This is really great vibes for you. Like, I feel like you're getting kind of recognition, like validation. Like, it's like things finally feel way better than they were before. In terms of relationships, also in terms of like taking risks and chances on yourself. Like, there's just more like heart within you. There's more belief within you right now. And I really feel like you've got this like eye for seeing in an intuitive way, like, oh, that's actually going to really work out. Like, I feel like your intuition is really spot on recently. And like, there's like things that you might want to try that are a little bit more creative, unconventional, like different than you would have done before. And it's like, but like, you really have the vision for it. And you're like, oh, I know it. I have this real strong knowing. And so I feel like you going in that direction is going to really just, what's important is really trusting that intuition. really just like nice warmth energy. Like I just see support for you too. And I feel like this could be really like a playful time for experimenting with artistic talents and just creativity in general. I feel like you're opening up either an old hobby that you're going back to or opening up new talents where you're like, oh, I didn't know I was good at that, and surprising yourself with that. And it feels just like things are really kind of, I don't know, you've got this energy around success for you in this month. Let me see here. I also feel like travel could be really, really beneficial for you this month. So if any of you are traveling, it feels like there's like, it's opening those talents and those skills that you didn't know. And it may be that other people are reflecting back to you like, oh, I didn't know you were really good at this. And you're like, oh, I didn't know I was really good at this either. And it's kind of like this, like, rediscovering of yourself in the best way. It's like you're surprising yourself in the sweetest way. So I'm kind of excited for you, Scorpio. I like this energy. So I'm seeing you guys.
Nice. So for the recent past for Scorpio, we have the King of Wands in reverse. Now, when he's in reverse, it could be that they were dealing with somebody who was not that great. But also, as Scorpio themselves, it could be that they had a feeling like they just want to give up. Like, this isn't working. I'm so frustrated. Like, things are going my way. And it's just, either I'm going to try to control the situation or I'm just going to give up, And it's like a very frustrating type of energy. But the cards are a bit of another warning, just like, I don't remember what other sign it was that we had the warning where it's like, if you don't let go, this is going to happen. So you were talking about success. I did pull the Six of Wands for success, but it's in reverse as a future energy, because here in the present energy, we have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is all about wearing a mask, feeling like you have to do things on your own, hiding yourself, not really, just kind of like going within. And Scorpios can be that way, And so it's like you're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to take off the mask. You don't have to do everything alone. You don't have to live in secret or behind the scenes, because if you continue to do that, you will never have the success and the recognition like you were just talking about. And like to let people see who you are, let people recognize your abilities and your greatness. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. It's like, let that guard down, let the walls down and open up and allow yourself to, it's like, I know you've been through a lot of shit. I know you've been put through the ringer. However, if you let that be your story, that's going to be your story.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like other people are saying. That's what I'm a Libra and my man's a Scorpio. That's what I've been telling him.
Yeah. Well, here's the confirmation. He's got to just let himself shine. He doesn't have to do it all on his own. And that's hard for men. They feel like they have to do everything on their own and they have to do it in secret. And it's like, no, you don't have to. That's why we're partners. That's why we're here. So yeah, he can experience success. He just has to come out of his shell and let himself be seen and recognized for who he is and all the great things that he brings to this world. So yeah.
I love that. Amazing. Okay, Scorpios, let yourself shine. Let's see. Okay, Sag, let's see what you got. It's so interesting. It's kind of like I'm seeing this shaman kind of mystical energy for you guys. There's this real accumulation of your knowledge, your it's almost like all your spiritual self is coming into like another level, and then also like your self-awareness is coming into another level. I also feel like there's something like shifting in terms of how you want to, like your approach with work in general. because I keep seeing like the workplace shifting, or like how you want to show up with the workplace and the kind of work that you want to do. There may be this like consideration of like changing jobs, or like there's like this pivoting energy in general. So you may be pivoting and like kind of like in between things, trying to figure things out. I also don't feel like it's a problem though, because it's like it's coming from like a place where you're like, oh, I really defined, like I really know like this is what I want for myself more than anything. Let me see here. And then I do feel like the summer really feels good for you in general too, because it's like this particular summer feels like things could kind of take off for you. Like there could be successes, there could be like you're feeling very free. There's also similar feelings of like love bubbling in the air for you. It's not as like deep and romantic, but there could be a little bit of it, but it's this sense of like playfulness and pleasantries and harmony and all of that, and kind of exploration in general. I keep feeling like there's like a worldly energy to you. So there's not just, it's like you're connecting to a deeper sense of the world. So it's like the world within you, but then the external as well. I actually feel like you might be highly sensitive to like what's going on with the collective right now as well too. And there also feels like it would be good. I don't know why I keep feeling like this feels very specific and maybe a specific message for somebody, but there's something around like strengthening and strength training, and like maybe like a different workout routine or a different way of like handling your body, like taking care of your body. Like it's almost like this way of like self-care is just shifting and changing. But it's coming because you are coming from a stronger place of a stronger sense of self-identity. So we'll see.
I like that. And I think it's great because here in the recent past, we have the sun in reverse. So they may have been feeling burnt out. They've been feeling exhausted. It's kind of like they have this dark cloud looming over them. And they're like, oh, just, Sagittarius, they have to feel free. Otherwise, they'll go crazy. And I did just get a rebounder, Heather. I did. Thanks for remembering. My kids make fun of me all the time about it. They're like, you're going to be one of those, middle-aged women just like jumping on that thing. I was like, shut up.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's great. I use it here and there. I can't use it a whole lot yet because of my nerve issue. So I'm still working on healing that. But yeah, I kind of like get on there almost like I'm walking, but it's like low impact for me. So yeah, I like it.
Nice.
But I don't go ham on it. But anyway, so yeah, we had the sun in reverse as the energy in the past. And it's just, like I said, Sagittarius has to feel free. They can get really burned out if they are working too much, if they're just like, they have too much on their plate. And that can cause the Queen of Wands right here to be in reverse. She's exhausted. She's not really feeling herself. She's fire sign energy. And so when you started saying a new exercise regime and all of that, she's totally down for exercising. This is what I always think of when I see her, because she is energy, she's movement, she is exercise, she's strength. I mean, look at her.
Rebounder.
Yeah. And so it's like she needs to turn this direct, to revitalize herself, because it's been just kind of like a lull, like just doing too much maybe, and feeling stifled. Because if she doesn't, then we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. You're talking about love, potentials, and things like that. Well, if she's not feeling good, she is not going to be interested in love. She's not going to be that one that attracts love, because when she walks into a room and she's direct, people notice her.
Yeah.
People see her, and she is just magnetic. She's just very cat-like energy, and she's kind of like that Marilyn Monroe. She turns it on. Uh-oh, hang on, I got to verify myself. There it goes. Okay. Yeah. So she just like turns it on and people notice her. But when she's like, her aura is close to her body, she's not feeling that great, nobody sees her, and she just gets negativity. So if she turns herself direct by working on herself, by doing things that set her free, by raising or increasing her endorphins, by exercising and things like that, she will not only attract what she wants as far as love and romance, but she will also be able to move more freely towards what it is that she wants. Because look at the bottom of the deck, we have the devil in reverse. He's all about, let me back up, because she's like, I'm deciding that you're not going to hold me back. This is really, it's really oppressive energy. And, some people don't realize that they're addicted to oppressive energy. Right? So it keeps them feeling like this, and then they just go through this vicious cycle of complaining, and it's like, this is my life, this is my life. But when you decide to step out of this, you have to decide. The devil will let you go if you just walk away, right? And you decide not to be tempted by whatever it is, and you take your power back, then you can move freely about the cabin.
I love that.
Yeah, Sagittarius has to be free, and if not, they're not very happy. Oh, I thought that horse had wings, but it doesn't.
I love that card. What's that one with the roses? Is that the Eight of?
No, this is the Knight of Cups.
Knight of Cups. Okay, yeah, because it is kind of like that offering of a romance, a potential, but it's not like a developed thing yet. It's kind of like percolating a little bit, but like this a possibility.
This would be somebody just entering in. He's like, hi, I like you. And he's very sincere in offering. And so, just like if you're wanting to attract people that are on a nice, positive, healthy vibration, you have to be that as well. So if she's negative, he's going to be negative. And then they're going to think, oh, we're soulmates. But it's called sympathetic vibration. It's where the two vibrations come together and they recognize each other and they think, oh, we're soulmates. But no, you're just toxic vibing.
Yikes. Yeah, we don't want that. No, not for you, Sag. I feel like you worked really hard and it's not time for that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like and this is all, all this energy here is meant to push them into like finally stepping out. Like, I've had enough. I'm ready to step out. So, it's like, even if, sometimes the sun in reverse can indicate a divorce or like a major relationship breakup. So you might be feeling down in the dumps. But it's like, if you take your power back, in every situation, everybody needs to take their power back because we're constantly giving it away. Once you learn how to take your power back, everything starts to just, domino effect of positivity. So that's what I love to teach, is like, take it back.
There is power in the cards. Absolutely. Yes. Okay, let's see.
Real quick, for those of you just joining us, we're going through all 12 zodiac signs. We are on Capricorn now. This is lovely Ishita. She is a clairvoyant. I am Erica. I am reading tarot cards, and we're just seeing what is coming up for the zodiac signs for the rest of July. If you want to book any sessions or take any of our classes or find out anything about us, look at her link in her bio, my link in my bio. You'll see everything there.
Love it. Someone just said, Sag Moon here trying to break decades of cynicism and manifesting positive emotions. It's hard, LOL.
You can do it. You can do it. You just have to police yourself. You have to monitor. Your brain is like a toddler. It wants to run around and do its own thing and cause chaos. You have to monitor that and say, nope, we're not thinking about that. That is negative. I'm going to switch it to something positive and constructive because I'm in charge. And that's how you have to do. You have to parent the brain.
That's a good way of looking at it. I feel like that also matches the Sag vibe in some ways too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Capricorn.
It could be sun, moon, or rising, Katrina.
There is, it's interesting because I feel like you're like looking. It's like this energy of being an observer and seeing far off in the horizons. And it's interesting because I also feel like you guys are kind of on your like your A game in term, and I always feel like Capricorns are kind of like on their A game in terms of like organization and stuff like that. Yeah. But there's something about like, okay, like gonna take action. I'm gonna do this. Like I have this idea about my business. I have like this idea about my work. I have like there's time. It's like time for implementation. Like that's how it feels. It's like it's time to apply. And you're also feeling like you're in your, it's interesting because it's like while you are trying to delegate, it's also like or not really delegating, not like you're having this energy of also like having lots of fun and like letting loose a little bit more than you would have before. Mostly because it's kind of like you're seeing that what you thought or what you predicted or like how you wanted things to go are kind of coming together a little bit slowly, but they're coming together. So I want to say like hold on to your vision, hold on to that structure of what's like what you want. And also like there's something like for you right now, it feels like there's a big networking or a big like possibility through relationships for some reason, like connecting you to the right things. I also feel like there's like, but a new beginning altogether in all parts of yourself, because it's kind of like you scrapped the past and now it's like, okay, we're redoing it. We're retrying everything. And these are how I'm implementing it. This is what I want it to look like. And we're just moving forward and I'm having fun because I know I'm going to be right about this kind of energy. I also feel like there's like a different, like the vitality and the strength and the like healthiness that you feel is kind of coming back together, because it's almost like, felt like almost like the last 3 to 4 months, it was like, it wasn't there. It was non-existent and you're kind of feeling off. Like I almost feel like July, you're feeling a little bit better, even though there's big transformation coming around, but it's more like implementation is happening for you. So you know exactly where to go. I also feel like too, if you want to bring up there's something around communication and like really having your needs met and speaking your truth. There's something around that for Capricorns for sure. Like there's something around communication and speaking your truth and self-expression that's like finally being heard and received, and it feels good. So if you're feeling nervous about it, it's really important to go and express that stuff and just allow yourself to step into your power around that. And even if you don't know how it's going to go, I would suggest, it looks like it would be great for you to do that, because I think that there's going to be a better outcome than you expect. So that's what it looks like.
I agree, because here we have the recent past with the Two of Swords in reverse. This is making a decision. It's like, okay, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm going to be doing. Like you said, a fresh new start. And speaking of that, we have the Ace of Cups. It's in reverse, which does not mean it's not there. It means it's formulating. Just like you said, hold on to your vision. I was like, oh yes, there it is. Hold on to that vision of what you want, because it's formulating. It's percolating, it's marinating, it's doing all the things that it needs to. And definitely make sure that you are still taking care of yourself as you have all of this going on around you, because just like you said, stepping into your strength. There's a strength card.
I love that card.
And then underneath you said, about feeling in their power and stepping forward and being stronger. So here we have the Queen of Wands upright now. So there's a lot of powerful energy. And like you said, it's going to turn out way better than what they thought. And they're going to be in that nice energy flow. And there's not going to be any more of that fear or that need to feel like you got to control something. And it is a lot of Leo energy, Jamie. I thought the same thing too. But it's like just being in their power, being that natural Capricorn type of energy, and having that added benefit of the fire energy of Leo, because this is like, Leo rules the heart. And so it's like, this is what I know I have to do. This is what I know And the Ace of Cups, you see the heart right there in the middle of the cup.
Yes.
It's like, let all of this let it evolve, let it fill up. And like you said, hold that vision, because it will turn out better than they thought. And they're going to be like, see, I knew it. And she's holding that vision too in her hand. You see the little ball of light.
Yes.
She's manifesting. So yes, love it.
Ooh, nice. Okay, amazing. All right, last but not least, Aquarius. Let's see what you got.
We got Pisces too.
Oh, sorry. We got Pisces after Aquarius. Yes, that's right.
It's hard when you're just like pulling it out of air.
Okay. Okay. Aquarius. Let's see. And then we're up to Pisces. Okay. So Aquarius. Okay. Yeah. Talk about new beginnings. Like restart. It's interesting because I get this image of like, I have this map and we're like going here or there. Like you're kind of like leading the way, but you're paving your own path at the same time. It's all like new, but like it's almost like rediscovery. It might be like, I don't know why I keep getting this energy of like, so you definitely have some travel in your space or even movement to a new home. Something about something new, like a new environment for you in general. And it feels like this is part of like, you knew like things were stale, things were stagnant, that was not working. I need to shift things up. And that's happening the rest of this month. It feels like there's like this new emphasis on like creating new environment. And it may be that you like leave an old job or something where it's like the old has to be scrapped and you're in this completely new environment that you're trying to navigate around. Like that's the energy, navigating around. And it really isn't like that feels like your priority, like really getting your bearings, your sea legs. Because you know, like you're kind of gearing up for something. I actually feel like you're going to see a lot of like positive outcomes and success end of this year, Aquarius. Like there's like a lot of positivity by the end of this year, but really what you're doing is setting new foundations. And like, yeah, even recognition down the line, like December feels really strong. November, December feels really strong. But like, it's like the workspace and getting your bearings is important. I also feel like you're kind of like working on things on your own, but I also feel like there's something around like, budgeting or like, there's like there's a puppy that went by. I don't know if you saw that. There's something around like reorganizing home life and home structure. So with this navigation and understanding it, it's like, okay, well, now I'm in a new place. How do I want to implement that? And how is it going to help me support myself in the way that I want to show up? So that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I like that. Here we have in the recent past is we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. This is letting all of that anxiety, all of the overthinking, all of the things just go. It's like I finally have decided that I'm taking care of myself. I'm deciding now. I'm not letting my mind decide for me. And here we have the High Priestess as the present energy. And it's very powerful, all knowing spiritual downloads. It can be connected to the home too, because she's like the ultimate gatekeeper. That's what I tell everybody. She is the gatekeeper.
Oh.
You don't get by her. You don't get into her home. You don't get into her space. You don't get into nothing unless you come correct. And so she is definitely feeling things out. Kind of like you said, she's feeling things out of where she wants to go and what needs to be adjusted, because they might be getting a new job. They might be changing jobs because there is some sort of like separating or moving to a different home. There's like something they've been putting a lot of energy and effort and everything into for a long time. And now it's breaking down. It's like a new, starting new, because we go to from the 10 back to the 1, right? So this would be the Ace of Pentacles. This is new, fresh energy. So it would be a new home, would be a new job. Something like that is coming up because, yeah, we have the World at the bottom of the deck. Something is
Nice.
coming to an end or coming full circle. It could be that they're traveling to a new home or making travel plans or something here that, yeah, they need to feel this fresh energy. And so, yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm in balance. I'm in control. I'm stepping into this new, I like to see it as like a new portal, like they're stepping into a new,
Yeah, I see that. I love
so
that.
yeah, it's really cool.
What did some people said? My niece is an Aquarius rising, and she's going away to college. This resonates for her.
Oh, yeah.
How cool! Someone said, "Wow,
Hey,
cool."
Charlotte. Charlotte's in Stockholm.
Oh, cool.
A lot of these lovely ladies and gentlemen come to my morning lives on Mondays and Fridays.
How nice.
You just moved
Tara,
to a new home in March. Nice.
how nice. I've been busy with a new job. Okay, so there's been, yeah, cool. All right, I'm glad this is resonating for people.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry I forgot Pisces, but we got
They were not happy about that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pisces friends. Okay, all right, let's look and see what's good going on for you. Um, okay. Oh, I feel really like I really like your energy this month, Pisces. Maybe it's like because we're in also a little bit of water energy for now. But there's like this really like I feel like you're there. I feel a love. I feel the love for you. Like I feel like there's this like oh me like you're recognizing me kind of energy. It feels like there's just it's fun. Like it's there's success. There's like you're laughing, like you're with your girlfriends, you're with your like your buddies. Like that's kind of the energy that I keep getting. And sudden bursts of information, but I really do feel like I don't actually I feel like this moon is going to be really transformational and you may be really in the feels, but it's almost like feels like it's like romantic feels. Like it's very dreamy right now. And I feel like even just you intuitively in your dreams in the astral, like it's also super, super powerful. So I actually feel like you're kind of in your element, but yes, maybe the moon right now might be a little overwhelming. However, I feel like it's like it's the release that you're ready for, and it's not like it's gonna kind of wash over you, and it's gonna come and like gonna release, and you're gonna feel really like relieved. Like that's how it feels, a breath of fresh air, and you knew it. Like you see like the big wave coming, and it's coming in, it's pulling all this stuff, and then the tide is going back in and taking away all the stuff that didn't resonate. So it's like you knew about this and you know it's leaving, and that feels good. And yeah, you don't feel weird about the like, well, you're this emotional sign, so it's like there are emotional conversations and there's really true feelings that are sparking and being talked about. So it feels like there's like support for this, and you're kind of in your element with this month. And I actually feel like people are like positively reacting to like your vulnerability as well. And yes, your creativity, but mostly like just the authenticness that you're ready to share. There are also maybe like past loves or like past friends that you're reconnecting with somehow. And you maybe even like rekindling things that felt like misunderstandings. So it feels just, I don't know. I really love this energy for you, Pisces. Maybe that's why maybe that's what I forgot, because I was like, yeah, you guys are, going to be thriving this month. I apologize. I didn't mean to do that.
So what's interesting is we have two nines showing up on either side of a major arcana. So let me start with the recent passes. We have the Nine of Cups. This is a breakthrough. This is really being proud of how far they've come and what they've accomplished, and just being satisfied with where they are. And it's interesting how you're talking about relationships, because we do have Justice in reverse. So I do feel like this is an energy because I feel like it's both of what you were talking about. There's going to be energies that they need to let go of, like relationships, and then there's going to be ones that come in that, there needs to be conversation. There needs to be this reflection of, is this real, or are you just coming back around to bullshit me,
Hmm.
Because justice in reverse is ruled by Libra. Libra rules relationships, right? So it's like, let me see how this is weighing up. Let me see how this is reflecting back to me as far as where I am or where this relationship is. And it could be that maybe they wind up meeting somebody new and they're able to let the past go. Or if it is a past person, they come in, they have that conversation, they meet in the middle because what, once was off, maybe they can bring it into balance. And then we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. There's no more fear, there's no more doubt, there's no more second guessing. So whatever decision that they make about these relationships, if as long as they're consciously seeing how the situation is reflecting back to them, yes, they're going to be good to go. Much better type of energy. Just be careful of any manipulation. Just be careful of any pay attention to the energy. Watch the energy, watch their movements, make sure their actions match their words. And look, right behind it we have the High Priestess in reverse too. These two reverse, so make sure that you're not, like I was saying before, trauma bonding or negative bonding. But it's going to be with this breakthrough, I don't think they're going to let that happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be better energy because the way this is leading is much better energy. It's like, I don't have to worry about this anymore because I know I made the right decision, or I see things are much better. And so it could be also that you don't need to, the Magician in reverse can also mean that you don't need to necessarily take action, just kind of like receive and let the energy flow and see how you feel about the situation instead of trying to focus and get something to happen. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are like, I want to make my ex come back. You can't make shit happen like that. You can't overtake somebody else's free will, so just let things be. Pisces, you're very intuitive. You're very ooey gooey flowy type of energy, but you can also play the victim when you're in the negative mindset. So, make sure that you're in control here. You're the gatekeeper, and everything's going to turn out great. Yeah, we have 2 9s. It's like things are coming full circle, and you're moving within your power because you had this breakthrough. So it's like, don't let anybody disrupt this.
Yes.
So
How
I like that.
exciting. That's really cool, Pisces.
Yeah. And, with justice in reverse too, it can also, because justice represents the scale. Sorry, I'm just getting these intuitive things. Justice represents the scale. And it could be that, once it was like this, maybe now it's like this, where the person wants to give more. That's what I'm feeling. Maybe the person wants to give more. And now you're like, oh, finally they get it. It could be that too. I just had that touch come in. So, yeah.
How cool. This was so fun.
I know. This went by a lot faster than I thought it would.
Yeah, it really did. And I feel like there was some cool, I love when the cards mashed up. That was really fantastic.
That was awesome. Do y'all have any questions for us? We'll be happy to answer questions. Yes, Jamie, seeing the consequence of their actions. I like that.
Will this be on YouTube rewatch? I don't know. Maybe
I
we
can post it on YouTube for y'all to rewatch if you'd like. And if you want, Ishita, I can send it to you if you want to post it on your stuff.
I would love that. Or tag me in YouTube, and yeah, that would be so cool. I'd love that. Yay. This was fun. It was so, thank you. It was so great. Yeah, I loved it too. So,
And so can you put your handle in the comments? I don't even know how to comment on here when I'm on live, but you can click on either one of our names and you can find our profiles. And like I said, you guys, if you want to work with any one of us, either one of us, just go to the link in our profile. We have everything listed there for you. I've got tarot class starting in August. I also have my Universal Blueprint to Six-Figure Success class happening August 17th and 18th. This is very limited seating. It's via Zoom, so make sure that you get your ticket as soon as possible. It's early bird pricing right now. I'm going to give you so much. Everything that I have used and studied that works universally for you to open up to your abundance. We're going to talk about the laws of success. We're going to talk about your human design, your energetic blueprint. We're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about everything. So if you're looking to step into that new cycle of abundance, then get into that class. And Ishita has a soulmate.
Yes, it's going to be, so it's actually this Saturday. So this is a very special event. If you're coming, if you want to find your soulmate and you live in the Southern California area, or you can hop on a plane and grab yourself a ticket, you know, to Malibu for the day or for the weekend, I highly suggest this. Is a powerful, potent in-person workshop. So I'll be doing readings for people to let you know what's happening, what's the blockages of your soulmate coming in, also what your soulmate looks like, all of the details. And then I will also be leading you through healings and meditations to feel the energy of your soulmate and bring them in. And I kid you not, we've done this. I've done this 2 times before. People have met their soulmates. They have DM'd me after and they've said, you'll never guess what. And you know, it's been beautiful. So I would love to see you there. I'm leaving for Bali because I have a retreat there, a manifestation retreat from July. I'll be leaving in July, the end of July this month. So if you want to get a reading with me, I highly, highly recommend doing it now. And because I come back August 15th and I won't start readings until the following week. So most of August will also be gone, but I will be taking new clients for my one-on-one psychic training. So what you saw me do today, I teach you how to do so you can tune into your intuition and start manifesting the things that you'd want, manifesting love and career and relationships, everything that you want. I am so lucky because I got to be a godmother because of the training that I did. Someone conceived a baby and now I'm a godmother. People have opened their businesses. There's like soulmates that have come in. So you name it, we can manifest it. And I will be taking people, starting in August. So if you want to get in there, grab your seats. There's limited spots because I only work one-on-one with a few people. It's very, very potent and powerful. And if you want to tune in for any other insights, then check out my YouTube too. I have some free workshops there because every month I have a workshop. This month I won't, in August I won't, but you can stay tuned for September. But if you want to check out what those are, and even check out my meditations, my podcast, Soul Healer with Ishita Bama, is on Spotify or on any of your podcast streaming channels. So check it out there.
Awesome. We have a question. It says, what are your thoughts on cord cutting?
Ooh. Well, as someone who's clairvoyant, who sees energy mostly through visions and things like that, I think cord cutting can be really beneficial, and you can cut a cord. So I really do think you're releasing trauma and a trigger and a magnet that's like keeping you in an old pattern with somebody when you're cord cutting. And it doesn't have to be too complicated. It can be just that whatever trigger is keeping this cord within yourself, in you, you release energetically. So it's no longer in the flow between you and that person, and you decide to deprogram that energy. And I go in depth into how to do that in my psychic training, but I love it. I think it's great. What do you think, Erica?
Well, I agree. I even had a session with a kahuna one time, and he was like, he saw cord cutting as like you pull it out by the roots. He goes, I don't like to sever. He goes, I feel like it has roots and you got to pull it all the way out. And I said, yeah, I love that. It makes a lot of sense. He's like, you pull it out and outside of your aura and you drop it. And I was like, that's great because, I feel like when we obviously get into a relationship or we have an interaction with somebody, we plug our cords into each other, right? And so you want to constantly be taking those out, getting rid of those, cutting cords, especially with toxic relationships. And the thing is for me, the way I feel it is when you start really thinking about that person, you're looking to plug that cord back in, And so you got to pull it back out and sever it. And it's all about like the mind is trying to get you to go back to that old way because it's dug that deep trench. And so every time you go back to that relationship or you think about that person, you're trying to plug that cord back in. So it's like, no, cut it, let it go, pull the roots out and
Yeah.
don't let it back in, because you're in charge. You can plug it back in if you want to, and you're going to suffer. So that's the way I feel it.
I love that. That is, yeah, I think it's very beneficial. Um,
Any other questions, you guys? Feel free to ask. We got some time.
yeah. I need that because I'm struggling with my analytical versus spiritual. Yeah, I feel like tarot or, intuitive psychic work it can help that side of you.
It really does. And that's the one thing that I find when my students are learning tarot is I always tell them at the beginning of the class, you're going to be learning tarot, but in the background, you're opening up your intuition. You're opening up all of this stuff because you're not so focused on it. You're not putting so much pressure on yourself to open it up.
Ooh.
Learning a divination practice, you're naturally just opening it up back here. And that's when you start witnessing these amazing things. Like in my tarot class, when I was learning from my mentor, I had a feather appear right in front of my face and go like that and just fell in front of my face. And I was like, holy shit. It was on camera. I was like, did y'all see that? And no idea where it came from. The fan was not on. I didn't have anything with feathers in my room. And it was like, there it went. And I was like, okay. And then a lot of my students have these things happen. Like I had a girl that she was going through my live tarot classes, and she's a hairdresser, and she started giving like mediumship readings all of a sudden. I said, I told you it was going to start opening up. I was like, you need to make sure you're protecting your energy, cleansing that off, because you're in their aura, doing their hair and everything. And so, yeah, it's funny because once you start learning, you guys, doesn't matter if you're learning whatever modality, you will start opening up that intuitive side, and that analytical side kind of takes a step to the side. It'll come out when it needs to, but you want to have that healthy balance. You don't ever want to be one or the other. You need that balance. We live in a 3D world. You need your analytical side, and we need to make sure we don't get lost in that world and, have our spiritual side. That's the way I feel it.
Absolutely. And I think that, a good way for you to know intuition is coming through is even if there's chaos, it's this micro second of neutrality that just comes in, whether you see it, feel it, hear it, know it, smell it, or taste it. It's just a microsecond of this flash. And then you have this information and you can decide what you want to do with it. And then suddenly the world comes right back in. You could be at peace, you could be meditating, and you can still get a sudden flash of this, a microsecond of it. But it's when you allow yourself to not have to be in resistance with the analytical and allow your intuition to just kind of exist and be in free flow, that both can be in harmony as well, because we need both. We need both to be able to exist. We need to be in the 3D and the 5D at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And somebody just asked, how do you build your intuition so deeply? You pay attention to those little micro moments and you trust them and you go with it. Because if you deny it, if you second guess it, you're pushing it further and further away. I always, in my power coaching clients, that's my one-on-one clients like you do, I always tell them, start your day off like with little small things. Like, if I wear this color, is that for my highest good? And you go with the first answer. You do it with the neutral space. Okay. If it's a no, then you pick something else. Is this going to be for my highest good? And boom, yes or no. And then you ask yourself, should I eat this? Is this for my highest good? Yes. And then those little bitty things are going to build up to be much more bigger things, like bigger intuitive thoughts. And that's what's going to lead you down the road to opportunity and, maybe saving your own life if you have an intuitive thought of to get out of somewhere or something like that. You really want to rebuild your intuition. You were born with it. You just suppressed it. So you need to rebuild that connection and that trust.
Absolutely. I love that. And something that a fun exercise that I share with people is that you can give yourself a day and go to somewhere new. It could be a garden, it could be a mall, it could be somewhere, just somewhere new, and allow yourself to just be led. Okay, do you want to go right? Do you want to go left? Do you want to go window shopping? Do you want to touch this? Do you want to hold this in your hand? You never know who you could bump into, what you might find, what life-changing situation might happen. And as, like you said, if you just continue to let those micro moments happen, you're allowing more and more intuition to come in. It's been really fascinating when I work with one-on-one clients. One client I worked with, she started working with me, and then she hadn't seen her family. She went back home to go visit her family. And so her brother was circling the airport, passing her so many times because he didn't recognize her because her energy had changed so much.
Oh, wow.
It's so, I had a similar situation. It was like, this stuff really changes your energy. People have lost so much weight from these programs because of, like energetic weight that manifests physically. I remember there was this funny story. I went on vacation with my family, and they had gone to breakfast, and I said, I'm going to stay out here, hang out. And they said, okay, well, go grab that beach bed right in the front because they always get taken. And so I sat there. I was I had no hat or sunglasses on. I just looked like I looked normally. And my mother says to my father, oh, isn't that our beach bed? Someone took that. And my father comes running down this ramp, comes up to me, looks me straight in the eye, and he goes, excuse me, ma'am. And he says for like 30 seconds, trying to say you took our beach bed, all this stuff. But I had been sitting there and running my energy, healing myself those 30 minutes they had been gone. And I said, haha, very funny. And this look of embarrassment comes over him because he's like, oh my God, I didn't realize that was you. And it's so interesting how this stuff can change your frequency so much.
Yeah, I love that. That's hilarious. Let's see. I'm currently doing the self-paced and I'm loving it. Oh, my self-paced tarot course. Thank you. Good, good, good.
Nice.
I'm an empath and try to pay attention to the subtle details, but it can be tiring. Here's the thing. Don't try too hard. Okay. When you're trying too hard, you're going to exhaust yourself, and then you're looking for something.
Right.
People are always trying to look for angel numbers, to look for signs. It's like, I have to find it. I have to look for it today. Stop looking. Just be open to receive, because you're going to wear yourself out. And then you go into psychosis and you're like, that's a sign. That's a sign. No, that's a sign. Just play with the universe, have fun, listen to whenever something comes. You're going to know if you're willing to be aware, you're going to know that was an intuitive hit, and just then you go with it. But yeah, don't try too hard, because it'll push you into a place you don't want to be.
I love that tip. Energetic boundaries and hygiene. What is some good tips? Okay. Well, I do like to create protective, if you like a protective bubble, you can create that for yourself, visualizing that in the beginning and the end of your day. And if you feel like someone's energy is coming to you, you can create another bubble. I go in depth. I have 3 or 4 that I teach in my program that go very, very in depth. But because I think, we just need it. But I think a basic one that you can imagine is really that 1 foot all around you aura, and you can even see a hard edge to it. And if you're feeling depleted, that means that you need to readjust that edge, because you might have either grown out of that energy within the time that you were within breakfast to lunch to dinner. Maybe you realize something, you shifted energetically, and then that just means you need a stronger energy to hold you now, because you've got more energy, you've got more you. And then also I feel clearing, grounding is such a big practice. I feel like people don't talk about that enough. And it's not just putting your feet on the ground, but you can ground anywhere if you create an energetic connection from your space to the center of the earth. And so I also teach all of that too, but I think that really helps.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's the thing. It's you need that bubble. You need that confidence that you're in charge of your own energy. And I teach the same thing of grounding down to the middle of the earth. You guys that are in my tribe, you have that whole meditation there. But Yeah, it's like you can do it as a bubble, you can do it as a shell, you can do it as a filter. The kahuna told me, he's like, I prefer the filter to let love in and out. And I was like, oh, that's pretty. I like that. Yeah, and it's like whatever you want it to be. And it's just your barrier of this is my energy. And I always tell people that if you're feeling like overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you're weak or people are crossing your energetic boundaries, go run to the restroom right quick or something like that and just find a place quiet real quick, run to your car, something, and just reset it, and then you're ready to go again. So yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying.
I love all these questions. Oh my God, so many. It's so great. I use the bubble method every day. My energetic bubble has a tattoo of Archangel Michael on it. I love that.
She's like, shing, shing.
When did you start second guessing yourself?
I don't know. Is that what you meant to say? When did you start second guessing yourself?
I guess stop, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that's right before we go into that.
Yeah, that's. Oh, I think I saw another one.
They said stop.
Oh, okay. Stopped.
I think when you stop second guessing yourself, you have to just decide not to. You have to, because it's like when you stop second guessing yourself and you just go with your intuitive vision or hit or whatever you want to call it, you're going to see the confirmation. And if you second guess yourself, you're never going to get that confirmation. So you're always going to go through this vicious cycle of, well, I just don't know if that's right. Is it this or is it this? Am I making it up? Your intuition is never going to be something that's going to put you in a negative place. It might make you a little uncomfy because it's pushing you where you need to be, but it'll never put you in something negative. And so that's how you're going to know that, just like Ishita said, it's going to be something from a place of neutrality. It's just this information that comes in and you're like, oh, and it could be about a person. It could be about a place. It can be about, do I need to go this direction or do I need to leave this place? Because I've had that before where I was on a date and we were walking around in Dallas and I was like, we need to go. And I said, I can't explain it, but we need to go. And luckily enough, he was like, okay with that. He was understanding and he was like, okay, let's go. And so I don't know if anything happened and I don't care. I just had that just guttural feeling, we need to go. And so there's been other things that have led me into situations that I needed to be there to help somebody or needed to be there for an opportunity. So you want to decide to stop second guessing yourself, and then you'll start to see the confirmations. It's amazing. What do you think?
I love that. That's a really good way of putting it, because I think second guessing ourselves is also a place where we're self-sabotaging and there's fear. So I invite you even to like get curious. Okay, why am I second guessing myself? What is this? Where is this fear stemming from? Is this really true? And is it benefiting me for feeling these feelings that are coming up with this second guessing? And at that, I really do think that sometimes the best approach, if you can, when you find yourself second guessing quite a bit, is to do some inner child work, because a part of that self is saying, oh, I'm not perfect enough, or I'm not going to get it right, or I'll be blamed about this, or I'm not worthy enough. And that can stem from your inner child wound. So getting curious and allowing yourself to talk to this inner part of yourself that feels like they'll be in trouble for this can actually unlock your second guessing and clean out the root of it in the first place.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100% with that. Love that. Yeah, the inner child rules a lot in our lives, whether we know it or not. That's why I have Maudie. Maudie, I call her the seer. She works with everyone's inner child. She can look at a photo of you and look in your eyes and pick out the ages where you experience certain trauma. And then, she helps you to go through and heal that and examine what was going on. So yeah, she works under the 22 umbrella and she's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Someone said, for over a year, I've been seeing repeated numbers every single day, multiple times per day. but days I see them seconds apart, and it confuses me. Well, for me, when I see angel numbers, they're more about the universe saying hello and we're supporting you. It's not about what the number actually is. It may correspond to something. However, most likely it's the angels, the universe, your spirit guides being like, hey, we've got you. Keep going. This is the right decision. You are supported. So how do you see that?
This is why my business is called 22, because I see 22 all the time. I mean, I can't tell you how many times a day I see that number. And then here's what I know about when I start seeing like an abundance of double digits, triple digits, all that. I know that there's a cycle coming, a good cycle coming. And so it's my little wink, like, hey, be ready. Here comes something good, and we're here with you. And it's just like, yeah, like you said, like a little, hey, like a little wink from the universe, from the divine, whatever you choose to call it. And it's not necessarily that you have to decipher the numbers all the time. It's typically just like letting you know, number one, we're here. Number two, monitor your thoughts and what you're feeling, because you want to keep it in the positive, and we're going to help carry you forward. So that's my thoughts.
I love that. The most used clairs, or how do we find out our top clairs? Ooh. Oh, you look like you had something to say. Did you want to?
I was just gonna say I have a little bit of all of them. I don't know, honestly. I don't know what the top clair is.
Well,
go for it.
So I would say, look to where you are, like your learning style. Are you a kinesthetic learner? Are you an auditory learner? Because most of your clairs are connected to those. And also, obviously, kind of like you were saying, Erica, you have all of them. Most people can access all of them, but we just have different levels of where they're at. And what I found, especially in the training that I do in one-on-one work, in my container, where people like start with clairvoyance, but then they start noticing that all of their abilities start to open, because one clair is very developed and the others start coming in naturally. So you have to work on one. It actually, I feel like it confuses. It can be confusing if you're trying to work on all of them at the same time, because information can be coming in a different way. And really what you need to be doing is starting to create a solid line of communication to know, okay, this is what this means for me, or this is how I interpret this, and it's all coming in right now through my clairvoyance, or it's coming in through my claircognizance. So allowing yourself to balance that out and slowly allow the patience or have patience with yourself so you can actually balance them out can be a lot easier than trying to take on everything at once, and not getting a clear message, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's great. Like sometimes I'll smell things, sometimes I'll hear things, sometimes I see things, and no, I don't, it just happens. And so I don't pay a whole lot of attention to that, like trying to label all that stuff. I'm just like, oh, this is what happens. I just try to be open and let the information come in. Because I've smelled, like, it's funny, when I was in high school, I was laying on the couch watching TV, and all of a sudden I smelled chips and salsa, and I was like, that's weird. And all of a sudden my best friend called me, and I said, hey, were you just eating chips and salsa? She's like, yeah, why? I was like, dude, I smelled it right before you called me.
That's so funny.
It'll happen during readings. I'll smell things. And like I've heard Archangel Raphael in my ear when I was praying for healing, and he was like, wow, and booming voice said, rest. And I was like, okay. So and I'm telling you, the next morning I was healed. It was crazy. I had the adult version of Fifth's disease, where every joint in your body just hurts. You have a fever. I felt like death. And I was just laying there like, please heal my body. Please heal my body. And I just rest. Okay. It was so loud. And next morning, no fever, no nothing. And,
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I've seen things form in front of my eyes. Like, so yeah, I've had it all happen. So for me, it's just everyday life. I don't say, oh, I'm this and this and that, but I do know that people like you have it stronger in certain areas. For me, it's just like whenever it wants to come in, it comes in, and I can't control it. That's my thing, is I can't control it yet. So, yeah.
It's exciting to be able to receive, and I think, yeah, we can all just, if we are open, then there's so much more that can come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, a couple more questions. I just see white feathers around me, and I feel very emotional. It's very beautiful. Yeah, white feathers are amazing.
Multi-receiving. Yeah, absolutely. There's different ways to be able to receive your messages. And I do feel like even connecting to your spirit guides, like if you want communication with them, get specific. Okay, you guys, I want a red turtle, and it can be a red turtle, not a green turtle. It can be a red turtle for a yes, and like a blue lipstick for no, something very specific, and they will show up for you. And something to remember too is that your guides are your guides. If you pay a tour guide to take you to, like the safari, they're going to show you the safari because you said you want to go to the safari. They're not going to tell you, oh, you must go to the safari because you came to, South Africa. You have to tell your guides what you need help with. They're standing by on the bench. They're like, how can we help? What do you need? So you have to tell them you're the leader. And so when you do that, they can be like, okay, we're going to get you a red turtle right now, or we're going to get a blue lipstick for you right now.
Yeah, I'm always like, all right, y'all, I need your help. I'm working on this, or I'm doing this. I need your help. And always just, you feel better because you start to feel their presence. Like whenever I do my collective Reiki session, I always ask for them to just surround me and be with me. It's like you just feel this warmth behind you, and like this, I get goosebumps when I don't know, you just feel them show up. But yeah, I always tell everybody the same thing you do. It's like they just sit back and chill until you call them in, until you're like, all right, tag, you're in, help me.
Exactly. And also, like, if we don't necessarily, like, sometimes we feel like we're alone, and the truth is you're never alone in this, in any of this. So being able to really ask for that, or take on that help, I think is going to really alleviate some things. So
I agree. Because it's like, yeah, it's like you do not have to do this all on your own. Like delegate to your guides. Like, help me. Delegate to your loved ones that have passed over.
yeah.
I have my grandparents, their pictures on my wall, and I'll talk to them. I'm like, all right, I need y'all's help too. Like, you put this in my mind, you put this, on my path, like, help me. So, and then I'll get help. It's amazing.
You won't ever get something you can't handle, and I really, truly, truly believe that. Everything is in your matrix to be able to work with it and to be able to learn something.
Yeah, I agree. Well, this was lovely. I will do this. We'll have to do this again.
I think so. This was so fun, and the cards were speaking, and the vibes were vibing. It was all very fun. And actually, if you guys want to come to see us in person, come to Mexico with us on the Spirit Heart Cruise.
Yes. I will send that out in the email, you guys. I need to put it on my website. But yeah, we're going to be cruising together in the Spirit Heart Cruise, and we're going to be speaking. You can take classes from some amazing people. There's healers, there's tarot, there's clairvoyants and psychics, and there's, mediums. There's, like all kinds of amazing people that are going to be speaking and teaching at this or on the Spirit Heart Cruise. So you can come spend a week with us in New Mexico and wherever else we're going. I can't remember, but we're going to go to the Mayan ruins, and we're going to do, I think, a meditation there or something like that.
It's going to be amazing.
Awesome. We might even do a little karaoke. They've already told me I have to sing on the cruise.
That's right. You were going to take the stage, you Leo self you.
Right. I know. So, yes, I hope you all have when is the cruise? It is December 8th.
For
so, yeah, I will send it out. I will send it out in an email, and I'll also put it on my website. But yeah, it's 8 through it's like 7 days.
Yeah, something like that, 7-8 days. Yeah. You can look at the link in either of our bios to sign up, and I think I think they're taking payments until, I think September is like, yeah, like you have to like get in pretty quickly if you really want to. So if that's something you're considering and you really want to get, you know, some fun excursions in and also some really great spiritual information, then I would highly, highly suggest coming to the Spirit Heart Cruise.
Yeah. And what's going to be funny is I'll be on that cruise for 2 weeks.
Yes, you will. That's
Okay. Party first week, spiritual second week. It's my brother's 50th birthday on the first one. So yeah, I mean, talk about things lining up, you guys. When you have an opportunity to present itself and it feels aligned, even if you're a little scared or even if you don't, say yes to it, because you never know where it's going to lead you. And I mean, I was on TikTok Live, somebody found me and they invited me to be a speaker on the Spirit Heart Cruise. Now I'm in a exclusive mastermind with Dr. Joe Vitale, and we're doing a lot of work there. And so you're going to get invited to all of these different things if you show up to your life, if you show up to your journey. You just have to decide to show up, okay? And we're going to talk more about this in the Universal Blueprint Masterclass. That's in August 17th and 18th. Check it out. So yeah, you guys have a wonderful evening. And we will definitely do this again.
Yes.
I'm glad you had the idea. So
fun.
Yeah, make sure you're following Ishita. And yeah, we hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Bye.